Moving on to issues around the African National Congress, we've got the ANC, which is set to hold its executive meeting for the first time since President Cyril Ramaphosa announced his new cabinet. Not likely to be on the agenda is the Pravin Gordhan matter. Now, some members, including Ekurhuleni Mayor Mzwandile Masina, have voiced dissatisfaction with the reappointment of the Public Enterprises Minister. But the party's Secretary General Ace Magashule is warning against criticizing the party leadership in public. So we've got our reporter Moloko Moloto, who is in Irene, south of Pretoria, and joins us live now. Moloko, I know that various issues have been put on the agenda. What has been said regarding this matter about the reappointment of Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan?
Hello, Faith. Absolutely. Indeed, we saw the chairperson of the ANC in Ekurhuleni, who is also the executive mayor in that part of the country, Mzwandile Masina, taking to social media criticizing the reappointment of Minister Pravin Gordhan, saying that it essentially flies on the face of the law. Now, he was supported by Tony Yengeni, who is the member of the ANC's National Executive Committee. And of course, the Secretary General of the ANC yesterday came out to say these matters will be discussed. And also, we had the president of the ANC Youth League, Colin Maine, also coming out yesterday saying people who are criticizing the president for appointing Pravin Gordhan are ill-disciplined and calling them anarchists, saying that they must talk about these issues internally. But Faith, I do have a guest, the General Secretary of the SACP, who was recently appointed Minister of Higher Education, Minister Blade Nzimande. Sir, thank you so much. Let me ask you about the issue of Minister Pravin Gordhan. It has caused some divisions among certain leaders of the ANC. What is your position as the SACP?
Well, we have already said as the SACP, that we welcome the cabinet appointments. We were engaged and consulted by the president. Of course, as we have said, it does not mean that therefore consultation means everybody agrees, but we welcome the cabinet as appointed by the president, including the appointment of Minister Gordhan. As the SACP, sometimes we feel that this matter of placing Minister Gordhan by some people at the center of everything, they better tell us what are the real issues that they actually have. They mustn't use Minister Gordhan as a scapegoat. To us, it looks like maybe he has trampled on some toes. That actually is the real issue that is behind all this. Because legally, politically, morally, as the SACP, we're not spokesperson for Minister Gordhan. We don't see anything wrong done by the president.
Well, when it comes to other leaders of other political parties, the EFF in particular, we understand that they would have their own issues with him. But these are members of the ANC. What then do you suspect that the main issue is? He's your colleague in the cabinet.
Look, I think those who are raising that, they better tell us what their problem is. As I'm saying, it looks like there is something that is troubling people, about Minister Gordhan, and they better tell us the truth, and not hide about some technicalities and legalities which are not there, as a matter of fact, So it's up to them. It's actually not for us to say. And we are actually now, as the SACP have said, we're looking forward to actually tackling what matters for this country, which is working with our people to change their lives for the better. We would actually like to see everyone focusing on that, and each and everyone saying, if I'm a mayor, if I'm a minister, if I'm a councillor, what am I going to do to actually ensure that we implement the manifesto that has actually been endorsed by our people who have voted the ANC back into government?
Finally, Minister, there are people who would say it would appear that perhaps some are above the law, given the fact that the Chapter 9 institution in the form of the public protector has made a pronouncement, recommended remedial action. But there seem to be some who are saying it doesn't really matter what the public protector said. Pravin Gordhan must just be reappointed.
Look, I think if you are talking there maybe about the EFF, they are hypocrites of the worst order, Minister Gordhan has appealed, is taking on review the findings of the public protector, which is perfectly legitimate. But they say it's like they don't recognize that. Yet themselves, they insulted former Minister Manuel, and they've been asked to pay. They say, no, they are not going to pay because they have appealed, you know. What is it that makes it some of the things to be good to them and not to actually be good for others? I think also South Africans have a duty even to ask, by the way, the EFF, why is it that they don't like Minister Gordhan? Is it because at some stage when he was responsible for taxes, he actually explored and found something wrong about the taxes of some of the leaders or what the situation may be? I think we mustn't be hypocritical. The law, the constitution applies to everybody equally.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Blade Nzimande. He is the General Secretary of the SACP. Now, Faith, let's also quickly listen to what the Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, said when he was responding earlier to this issue of people who are taking to social media addressing such matters.
The issue of Masina and many others, we are saying, comrades, this is the time to stop making a lot of noise in the public, respect leadership. So we'll engage those comrades who are tweeting. We will engage everybody and we'll now say to them, comrades, it stops here. Moving forward into the future, we are not going to allow you to do all these tweets. Please stay disciplined, stay loyal. We are one leadership. We are recognizing the leadership of the president, of the top six, the NWC, and everybody. We need to support one another. So that's the culture and character of the ANC. No, we are going to talk to comrades. ANC doesn't just deal with people, we deal with incorrigible people. In the ANC, we believe in correction. If you have made a mistake, human beings are not flat, they are round characters. We engage them. It depends how they act and react, and that's when time will tell as to what and when should we actually act. But we can't no more allow anybody to say anything he wants out there in the public. It is time for the African National Congress to act.
Okay.
But you know we are an elephant. We engage people, we debate, we talk, we correct you. Patience. Those are the qualities of an ANC leadership.
Well, certainly lots to be deliberated on at the ANC Lekgotla there. Moloko Moloto giving us the latest. Moloko, you know, it appears as though this issue around ill discipline, I'm sure, will come top of the agenda because, as rightfully mentioned by the Secretary General, Ace Magashule, it almost appears as though it encourages a divisive ANC when right now perhaps the issues around unity and getting the job done.
Well, the reality of the matter is that you will have people holding different views. Now, when it comes to this particular issue that involves Minister Pravin Gordhan, you have other ministers. By the way, Fikile Mbalula, the Minister of Transport, now also had a finding that was made against him by the public protector. Of course, at the time, he had just left a cabinet, so no action was really taken against him. Also, the minister now of police, Bheki Cele, a lot of people would remember that when he was the National Police Commissioner, the public protector made a finding regarding the lease of the police building. So these people are back in cabinet, including Pravin Gordhan. Some have said, why are you singling out Pravin Gordhan? But also others have said, but a Chapter 9 institution has made a finding and it must be obeyed. So we are certainly going to see people expressing themselves. And interestingly, we saw Tony Yengeni just after that interview with Colin Maine was put on our social media page. We saw him, Tony Yengeni, continuing to say that he stands by his word, that no one is above the law.
Look, we're going to leave our conversation there, but thanks a lot for joining us and shedding some light in terms of those developments that are currently happening at the ANC Lekgotla.